2 shooters of coke before I start this episode. I'm so fucking exhausted.
You're gonna hit 2 fresh lines of cocaine.
Two cheeky
to do
bumps
one
of coke.
Dragon Age podcast.
Yeah.
That's the energy.
Speaking to you, Dillin, takes a lot of energy out of me.
It takes a lot of fucking cocaine. You need your heart borderlining on explosion in order to have a single conversation.
No, I genuinely, I think the opposite. I think if I took a bump of coke and then spoke and then we had a conversation, I would die so fast because I get so
You better,
jazzed.
this better be good. Okay.
I just get so jazzed in our conversations.
Yeah.
And I either get overly excited or overly wound up by things that don't matter.
Yeah. Some would say that I'm already the cocaine that you take. If our friendship was a Nine Inch Nails song, I think that's what they would say.
That is exactly what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're my fucking drug, baby.
You're
You're all I need. Fucking, I'm addicted to the worst kind of drug, and it's you.
Yeah, you're bad for my heart. You make my dick weird.
I don't have a real relationship with my family anymore.
No one else talks to me. This is all I have left.
I keep pushing people close to me away just so I can take another bump of Dillin.
Take another bump of Dillin. The new hit song coming out. Trent Reznor really outdid himself again. Unbelievable.
It's me. Pulls off my face and I'm Trent Reznor.
You've been Trent Reznor the whole time. You
Google,
did the Challenger
who is
soundtrack.
Trent Reznor?
Oh, that hurts me, actually.
Google, who is Trent Reznor?
Tell me this isn't a generational divide, because I will actually burst into flames.
He's just the lead singer of Nine Inch Nails. I just don't know music.
Yeah, but
I've heard the name, but I've heard the name through cultural osmosis. Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't a Joey Chestnut situation because I listen to people when they speak to me. So like I know things.
You listen to people when they speak to you, and not me is what I feel.
I listen to you all the time. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just want to pick a fight.
I have a feeling that we might pick a fight today. This section of Dragon Age holds so many choices.
Oh, God.
So many choices. Now, hello everyone, my name is Robin. I've never played a Dragon Age game before.
Hi, I'm Dillin. I've played all the Dragon Age games a million times. I'm so borderline manic about talking about this particular section. But wait. Before we get into it, because we're going to get into it and we're going to get lost, I want to just say a little thing. Because there's a strike happening. The voice actors in the video game, actually, hold on, because I should have had this handy.
I'm going to remain quiet. I'm going to let you have your space.
Thank you. Yes. The video game performers are going on strike. And the strike, I believe, actually starts today, the day we're recording this, which is Monday, because specifically of artificial intelligence protections. So video game companies are, by and large, really, really trying to find any opportunity to replace voice acting talent with AI. And that's unequivocally a bad idea, both for the performers, for the consumers, for the art of video games themselves. It's just bad. It's bad all around. I wanted to bring it up here so that A, we could tell you that we unequivocally support the strike and are in their corner. B, because the voice actors at this time are telling us to continue to talk about and play the games. If that changes for any reason throughout the strike, we'll adjust and we'll do what we have to do if we have, but right now that's not what they're asking for. So we're going to keep the podcast going, but just as a warning, in case the strike takes a bad turn or things aren't going well and they change their demands, we will adjust accordingly. And I don't want anybody to be caught off guard.
Also, just speaking of movies or something. That's what we're
yeah. We'll just Yeah, exactly.
We'll change this to a Dirk Gently rewatch podcast.
Oh my God, I would fucking love that. I would love that so much. I know I just finished rewatching it, but I would do it again immediately.
Or we'll become a Being Human.
Don't flirt with me like that. Don't do that to me right now on our good podcast. You know how I get. You know that.
That's Dylan's
you know where I'm at right
ever.
now. Being Human,
ever, and I haven't watched
the North
the US
American version is
like
one of the
British
best pieces of television ever made, and I love it so much, and I miss it every day of my life. Okay.
Oh my God, where the fuck? Okay, so I want people to have a little context because
Please.
Orzammar is this section of the game is the biggest amount of content we have had to get through.
Yes.
For this show. It, is also the one we've had to do in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
Gen Con is coming up. Both of us are going to be there.
We'll both be there.
I can say that because I haven't said that I'm going at all.
Yeah.
But this comes out on Friday, so fuck it. Both of us are going to be there. And so this is Monday rather than the Wednesday. I personally have worked every day since we finished recording last, and we have both said that we were playing this till 2 a.m. Last night. I've had a couple of AMs needing to get through Orzammar. So there are some things that I will forget, and there are also some things that we probably haven't done. Maybe. I don't know how big this bit is. I've done a lot of the side quests here. I don't know if I did all of it.
I'm getting us through it. This is all very fresh for me, and I have a lot. I have played through Orzammar now so many times, but it's been a while since I played through Orzammar paying attention. A lot of times when I am playing this game as a comfort game, I'm speeding through both the Fade and the Deep Roads. I'm kind of just clicking through everything. So this is the first time in a while that I was really fucking present for the entire thing. And okay. So remind me, just let's just recap your character so far. Quentin is do you want emotionally or who he is? Because he's an elven blood mage. And how is he emotionally?
Emotionally is scared. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in this. At this point, we've just come off of Haven, where he was like, "I've done a fucking pretty bad thing." I've let someone. He let the brother of the Chantry live, and he's now going to go screw up all of the Urn of Sacred Ashes, and it's just going to become a whole thing. And Quentin is not feeling positive about that. And he's like, all right, well, listen. All we need to do is go to Orzammar and just get the dwarves on our side. What is the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah.
Goes to Orzammar. It's all a fucking mess. The whole place is a complete wreck. There's fighting in the streets. Dwarves aren't letting anyone in because they're like, hey, baby, we don't have a king because our king recently died. Now, here's what I want to know, because I think this episode, my shit, is not important. What is important is how Feleria is doing in this whole zone, because she is returning home. Her father has recently deceased, and her brother, her traitorous Judas of a brother, is vying for the throne against this other person. So I actually want to know all the things that you went through.
So the disrespect starts immediately. You're you're at the gates. Feleria gets to the gates of Orzammar, isn't even remotely inside, and already like the people at the gates are like, you're a traitor, you're attempted usurper, which is crazy talk.
Yeah.
And you're a kinslayer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're saying all this shit. So you like pretty much have to be like, ugh, I'm a Grey Warden, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine, I guess. Being the Grey Warden gets you through the doors.
Mm-hmm.
I do at every single turn. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I didn't kill my brother.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in Orzammar believes you, which is great. Almost everybody you meet in Orzammar believes that you didn't kill your brother. But the opinions vary so wildly that are like, like some people are like, well, yeah, you didn't kill your brother, but there's nothing we can do about it because your brother's king now and you've been exiled. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
2, yeah, you didn't kill your brother, but you were threatening his throne by being so popular, and
you deserved it.
And like, we need him to be king, so get out of here. And then there's Harrowmont. Lord Harrowmont is vying for the throne. Balin has taken the throne in like an interim basis and is being guarded. You can't visit him. Lord Harrowmont, however, is like, so like I can't visit Balin, or any but of Balin's men like till I've already shown that I'm going to support him. Harrowmont, however, is like, hey, help me trash your brother's name and I'll take the throne and I'll help you with the blight. I'll make sure that we get an Orzammar army to you. Hella annoying. Okay. So there's that. You also learn that like people are so feral about this election, this like undecided king situation, that people are killing each other in the streets.
In the streets, dude.
People are just randomly killing each other. And there's supposed to be a glory proving today, this afternoon, the afternoon you arrive, in your father's honor. So before we get to the proving, obviously, a couple of little housekeeping things. I meet one of my favorite characters ever, the Nug Wrangler. I meet.
How many nugs did you get for the man?
I've gotten every nug for that man.
Yeah, I got all the nugs as well. Huge.
I've met Dagger.
There are a bunch of pretty good side stories in this, actually.
Yeah.
I liked the side stories in this.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I don't know if I should say this now or later, but it will, I guess if I say it now, I'll prove it along the way.
Okay.
But there is a common thought based in Dragon Age Inquisition that although it's fun to play every type of protagonist, playing an elven mage feels like the canon storyline because of how much of the story gets
do you mean an elven mage in Inquisition?
In Inquisition.
Yes.
In this game, I now
feel it's Dwarven Noble?
It's Dwarven Noble. I feel like it is. I feel like so much shit like happens here that is like world world impactful.
Because this bit isn't like you go somewhere and a guy from your backstory turns up. It's not like I know this guy because of XYZ reasons. It's like you are going to confront your traitor brother and reclaim your city. Like, it's so huge. Like, the whole time I was walking around and I was like, yeah, this is cool, it's interesting. This would be so sick if I was a dwarven noble. Like, the whole time I was thinking it.
It's so good. And so we get to see Dusttown for the first time too, because you can't see that. You never go to Dusttown in the dwarf noble opening. So go to Dusttown where you see all the castless, and you get to learn how bad the castless have it, which are the people who live in Dusttown. They're branded at birth, and they are never allowed to like ascend to a house ever.
Yeah.
And that is essentially the same designation given to anyone who ever goes to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So truly wild.
Huge,
Obviously horrendous. I meet Dagna, who is a young dwarven woman who is really enthusiastic about studying magic.
She wants to go be a mage.
Which is, we learn, impossible because dwarves cannot cast magic.
Because isn't it like it's the lyrium, the natural amount of lyrium around dwarves at all times just kind of makes it so that it's now just impossible for any dwarf to be a mage.
So that's part of the thought. It's also why dwarves can handle lyrium. So dwarves can infuse things with lyrium. They can make runes and stuff like that.
Sure.
And that's like kind of a big trade is lyrium trading in Orzammar. We actually meet a guy who unfortunately though did in Orzammar where you meet a merchant if you talk to him who tells you he's like kind of like saying things that don't make sense when you're trying to shop with him.
Yeah.
And then if you push, he tells you that he got an open wound and some lyrium dust got in it years ago. And so it has messed with his mind.
Scrambled his brain a little.
So lyrium doesn't affect dwarves as much as it affects everyone else, but lyrium has dangerous qualities that no one but dwarves can handle directly. But dwarves also can't access the Fade, and so they do not have access to wielding magic like others do. So Dagna wants to go to the Circle Tower and study magic, and knows everything about the Circle. So I promised her I would, of course, make sure that she gets an invitation to the Circle because I support dwarves doing anything.
Yeah.
Then I met a guy who was like Hercule or whatever, and he was like, I want to start a fucking chantry. And I was like, no.
So, because this
You're stupid.
Yeah.
No.
Because I at first... I just kind of accepted the quest. And then I went all the way to the place that he asked, and I had all the chance in the world to like convince and cunning this guy into saying, "Oh yeah, sure, fine, open up a chantry." But I decided to just nuke the interview basically, so I could go back to him and be like, "Sorry, buddy. Yeah, they just don't want it. You spent all your energy on trying to get me to do this, and no one's interested. Sorry, pal." And he's like, I wanted to dishearten him so much so he never tries again.
No,
I didn't want to just
straight up told him that I would never support that. This is Orzammar. We worship the stone. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ridiculous, man. Walk into Tapster's, the bar, my old haunt, I imagine. And the bartender's like, "Get out of here, Kinslayer." And I was like, fuck you.
Damn. He's your old gaffer. What a shame.
So fucking humiliated at every turn. And then I start learning about what's going on because I know that I have to go to the proving. because everybody is telling me that like they're not going to make a decision. They're not going to help us in the Blight unless there's a king in place. And right now there's no official king.
Yeah.
There's Balin sitting on the throne doing nothing. Harrowmont vying for the throne doing nothing. And the army is investigating Orzammar because both Balin and Harrowmont think that we can find evidence of a paragon and get a paragon to support them in the election. Now, Paragon Branca has been missing in the Deep Roads for years and is not alive as far as any of us are aware. So this is silly. But everybody has sent their armies because they're like, on the off chance that she is still there, we can't let the other one be the one to find her and then
absolutely.
come back and have a paragon support in the election. That will be the end of the election. And so I'm just like, well, what the fuck can I do about this? And they're like, well, support one of us in approving, and we'll see. And then in that process, I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to all these people.
Because yeah. So okay. So I wanna know first. So yeah. This big thing is it's between Lord Harrowmont and Prince Balin.
Yeah.
I imagine. So yeah. Each one of them is like, oh hey, we need you to do XYZ things to prove your loyalty. I imagine you went for Harrowmont pretty immediately. Like, who did you decide that you were going to side with?
Well, so
beforehand?
Prince Balin or his people would not speak to me. So the only person I could get information from was Harrowmont's second in command.
Wow. Oh my god, that's crazy. That makes sense. But of course that was, because to me that's such a big decision at first that because it's like, because I supported Prince Balin. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, because I went in, I don't know anything about dwarves.
Oh, I supported Prince Balin too.
At the end, I'm not talking about the end. I'm talking about now at the beginning. That's a fun, delicious. Do you mean at the end you supported Prince Balin, or did you go to the proving and support Prince Balin?
I fought for him in the proving.
I didn't even do the proving.
Fuck.
I didn't even do it.
You're a bad dwarf.
Yeah. Famously, me being an elf is an awful dwarf.
Terrible dwarf.
Because it was like, so Harrowmont wanted me to do some stuff. And then he was like, fight for me in the proving. But then Balin was just like, I want you to... There's two people who Lord Harrowmont has promised land to, and he's clearly lying. He can't give it to both. Go tell them that. And I was like, okay. So I went and I told them.
Did you know those are fake documents? He didn't
no,
actually.
Didn't.
Yeah, they're not actually. That was a lie that my clever brother told you. Yeah, he's full of shit. Those are forgeries.
How do you find that out that they're forgeries?
By being fucking smart.
Jesus Lord. Fucking hell. Well, how being smart though? Like,
no, I'm kidding. You have to you bring them to, I think, the Shaperate. I think that's what it is. You bring them to the Shaperate, which is like the record keepers in Orzammar.
Yeah.
And like there's other quests at the Shaperate, but if you go there while you have those documents, you get an option to show them and be like, "Oh, this is fake as hell."
Oh, that's very fun, actually.
Yeah. And then I went and said, "Good play, brother." And yeah. The thing is that this is I'm working around the fact that some of this is bad writing, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I think that I mentally made it work. Because the thing is that in real life, would someone who had the best and most progressive policies on the docket, aka Prince Balin, also be like a family murdering, like lying sack of shit? Probably not.
Sure.
But in this universe, that's the case because Prince Balin wants to do away with the caste system and re-invite the surfacer dwarves back into Orzammar's city culture. Both things that would have prevented what happened to me from happening. Me getting exiled to the Deep Roads, stripped of my name, and struck from the records would not have happened if someone like Balin was in power. Balin did kill my father. Because my father was weak and was not doing enough to change Orzammar and make Orzammar a better place. And Lord Harrowmont wants to restore even more tradition and make this place even more regressive. He just wants to do it while being a nice lad. So
he's doing the classic Republican like handshake of he's like he's just another guy. He's just a guy you'd meet down the pub. But also he believes in all this awful other shit. I didn't support Harrowmont for most of it because he was like, go to the Proving and, fuck over Balin. And I was like, no, this isn't my city. I don't need this right now. I don't need to decide between you two kings. I need people because the Blight is coming and I'm dealing with a lot recently. So, I decided, I was like, hey, listen, that guy is like, he's the prince. He's crowned, he's not crowned prince, of course, but, his father was the king. Fuck it. I'm just going to go with him. But also, Harrowmont was like, oh yeah, he's like threatening my people to not fight for me in the Proving. So I was like, okay. So then I went and then I helped Harrowmont to the point of joining the Proving, and then so I got all of his men to rejoin, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight in the Proving anymore because you have all your guys. I'm gonna tell all these people who you promised land to that you fucked all them over because I'm just working with a basis of truth. I don't care about, I'm not going to fight for anyone, I'm not going to do anything, but I am going to tell people all the nefarious plans that you're telling me. I'm going to go around and I'm going to share all that. That was my opening gambit. But then it does force you down a road of, okay, who are you picking though? And I did go to Balin and I was like, yeah, fine. I support you. Can I? Because I hadn't met him before, and when I was speaking to Lord Harrowmont's second, Zevrin was like, he's not even gonna fight in this thing. Supposed to help and save him.
Zevrin was like, oh, you're too much of a coward.
Yeah, and then like real berates him, and I was like, all right, yeah, fuck you, dude. Maybe I'm on Team Zevrin now. I went and then I joined Balin.
For this part, we'll talk about the Deep Roads another time. For this part of the game, who was your party?
My party was Zevrin, Wynn, and oh gosh, who was the last? It might have been, I think it was Shale as well, but I switched them going into it because we pick up a new party member.
Oh that's later. But like for now, I had Zevrin, Wynn, and Shale. Part.
Yeah,
I
think I had Alistair, not Shale. My apologies.
Okay, I also had Wynn, Zevrin, and Alistair for the political part of the Deep Road of Orzammar before the Deep Roads, and Zevrin and Wynn had the best banter the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Every 5 seconds of walking through Orzammar, Zevrin is just like, let me suck on them titties. Let me suck on them titties, Wynn. Let me fucking and I'm like, Zevrin is the only person reacting normally to Wynn as a person. Everybody else is like, oh, you old sack of bones, you decrepit old corpse. And Zevrin is like, what if I sucked on him a little bit? What if you put him in my face? I'm so sad.
That's what me and Zevrin agree on as well. And that's why I love my boy.
It was amazing. I was not bored for even a second the entire time we were walking around. It was like every 10 seconds, I feel like it was just them going back and forth and Wynn just being like, shut up. And then being like, oh, I'm so sad. What if you let me rest in your bosom?
Oh, I'm lying. It wasn't Alistair. It was Sten. It went through all three of the tanks. I just remembered now because Wynn leveled up as we were walking around the place, and then I gave her Arcane Warrior as well. So then she is super decked out in huge heavy armor. Sten was very decked out in heavy huge armor, and then I was decked out in heavy huge armor, and we were the rowdy boys. With Zevran running around being our little twink who throws stuff at people.
I gave Wynn heavy armor too. I gave her the Arcane Warrior.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's fun. Cool. It's very fun. So I fought in the Proving. I won, trounced that Proving, and then I named myself in Balin's honor for House Iduken.
Crazy.
They wouldn't put me down as House Iduken because I am no longer House Iduken or whatever. So they put me down as the Grey Warden. That was offense number 57 of this visit back home. But it was for my dad, so whatever.
So was it that you... Oh, okay, you fought because it was for your dad. I was going to say, what was Feleria thinking?
I fought to not to honor my dad. My dad was a regressive piece of shit who was too weak to do what was necessary and kicked his own daughter out of Orzammar so he can go suck my dick. Yeah. I fought to name Balin as the new king because despite the fact that he fucked me over personally, he is the only one that's currently up for election who wants to change Orzammar and make it a better place. Mm-hmm. So, and what do I love? What does Feleria love more than anything in the world?
Dwarves.
The dwarves. So she is here for the advancement, the betterment of the dwarves, no matter what the personal cost. And so she sucked it up and she named herself champion in Balin's name. And then he was like, could you handle
the crime that's going
syndicate that's trying to make my life difficult? A lot of cool stuff though. I mean, like before that, like all this stuff leading up to doing the Proving, you meet a lady in Dusttown who was made castless because she just so happened to have a child that was the wrong gender and wasn't able to fulfill the caste requirements, and so her and her kid were just sent away. Like, you know, you just meet people who are obviously like poor and stricken and whatever, and
then you meet a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money to give the drug dealer the money, so I wanted to be like, oh, can you give me like 5 minutes? Because I just bought a bunch of shit. But he was like, ugh, don't speak of this with anyone, and then walked away. And I was like, come on, I'd love to deal some drugs.
We're working together.
Oh yeah, for the dwarves. I love that for you.
Yeah, the dwarves don't take it. We just sell it. So yeah, you just see all this awful shit, and then you meet this crime syndicate run by Jarvis.
Run by Jarva.
That's it. And she operates in an underground that connects Dusttown to the Commons, which is how they're able to like run their little crime syndicate so flawlessly.
And they have secret doors, which you have to put a bone finger with a rune inside of this lock, and it opens the doors.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool and spooky. I supported Balin, and then he was like, could you do this? And I was like, can I just have my army? And he was like, oh, you can have your army if you do this for me. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay, fine. And then I went and I did it, and I made such a mockery of her people because I now have all blood magic powers. So one of the last 2 blood magic powers make all blood magic the best shit ever, where I can just freeze an entire area of people. And if there's one person who's just walking around, I can just make them fight for me for a extended period of time.
Yeah.
So my plan was walk into a place, blood magic freeze everyone, cast my Tempest Storm on top of them. If there's any stragglers, I force them to fight for me and kill their friends. And I walked through her whole shit doing that exact thing. Easy. And really cemented the fact that blood mages should be feared because this guy is horrifying. And in this, there's a lot of elves as well. There's elves and Quinari fighting
Tons.
with her.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
and
interesting.
And stuff. Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like that. I took the Ranger specialization and maxed it out. So midway, somewhere through all of this, I am just rocking up with a poisonous spider.
Oh, that's so good.
Who just fights alongside me and has and it just does so much damage. Like it's just dreamy. It's so nice.
Yeah.
So once you deal with the Carta, once you deal with them, once you deal with the Carta, then basically they're like, okay, well, we have this expedition in the deep roads that needs to be done. We need a Paragon's support. Because
it's the only thing to get people on board is having a Paragon support someone directly.
Yeah. Implying that otherwise we're gonna have to wait for the assembly to allow an election, and that could take months.
Yeah.
But if a Paragon
you're
is
not
found...
getting, specifically coming from Balin, it's like Balin is trying to fuck you over right now and is trying to get his way. I don't know what it's like when it's Harriman. I know it's the same ultimately, but he's fully like, oh my god, thank you so much for doing with that crime syndicate. People are really on our side. Before I give you your army, though, could you go to the deep roads and deal with this whole thing and then get this lady? And I was like, you fucking ass. God, I'm so sick of you.
There's a couple of other things, though. There's you meet someone in the Shaperate who her family has been deprived of their house and struck from the records and made a commoner now. But they should be a noble house, apparently. They're descended from one of the original Tigers. But there's no information about it. So you're told that you could maybe find information about that down there. There's some woman that you meet whose son went missing. She was told that he was exiled, but she thinks that he went to the deep roads instead.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's if you decide to go on Balin's side, Lord Dace, who is someone who he's claiming Harriman is lying to, is in the deep roads, and you have to go help him.
Oh well, right, but that's before you even get sent to the deep roads. You have to do that first and find him. Yeah. But then you are actually sent
to the deep roads, and you meet the world's most vile man.
The worst character ever written by human beings ever. Do you know they thought that he was going to be a fan favorite? They were like,
that's
this
insane.
is clearly going to be
so
a series
repugnant.
He's
I
awful.
hate this guy. I hate him.
Universally hated. He's so bad.
Because the way this schedule works, we are 2 episodes away from the end, and I was like, it's weird that you have put Orzammar this late, and you keep saying, "Oh, well, it's because of the level; it's different." And I'm always being a little fishy.
I hope you understand after playing it is true.
Well, yeah, but also you said that if we did the fight with the sloth demon in the Veil at a higher level, the mechanics change. So does it not just level scale to you?
No, it does not.
Well,
no.
Regardless. I also thought, well, maybe it's because Dillin doesn't want the world's most repugnant oaf in the party, and I would have understood. I went into this, I was right. So I'm like this with any character or thing that people almost universally hate. If people don't like, this is very true with Pokemon, which is my main thing. Pokemon that people don't like, I swing around to really liking because I find them to be an underdog and it's endearing to me.
Sure.
One of my favorite Pokemon is Muck.
Sure.
Everyone is like, oh my god, Pikachu's too popular. They're not even a cool one. And I'm like, well, I actually really like Pikachu for that reason. I I can do it to myself, where I hated the look of Sir Farfetch so much that I felt bad for it, and now I love it.
Yeah. Do you love Oghren now?
I thought the same thing was going to happen with Oghren. I was close to telling this man to leave my party.
Yeah.
Because there's the option of, like, I need you to leave. And after... So, going into the Deep Roads, I switched Zevran out because Zevran can't unlock any doors. He's never held a key in his life, and he makes me stressed out. So I take Liliana, Alistair, who you'll be glad to know is my fucking boy now. Love that man.
Yeah, we
Me
love
and Alistair,
this.
baby. I love him. And Oghren, because it's his story, you don't have to take him. It's not like Win, where you have to take Win. It's like.
But no, it is definitely worth it story wise to take him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And after a while, after his third comment, proving to me that he's the world's most divorced man, I clicked on him, and I was hovering over the, hey, Bal, I need you to not leave the party right now. I need you to leave the Grey Warden act. I need you to go away and not be part of this team, full stop. Go get drunk in a bar, throw yourself into a river of lava, fuck off. I didn't, and I hate him. Yeah,
he is actually Elon Musk learned it from Oghren.
From Oghren.
Got that way from Oghren.
Just the worst. I hate him so much. On a slightly different note, Liliana and Alistair, some of their conversations as we were walking through the Deep Roads, adventuring through this same hallway cave hell together, which I didn't find too bad on this run. I hyped it up to be really bad, and yes, it's too long, but it was fine. Because my plan of I blood magic freeze everyone, and then I electrocute them all with Tempest to death is awesome and the best shit ever. Also, when they started putting ogres in front of me, I just blood controlled the ogres to fight everyone else, and that ruled. Because then the ogres died fighting for me, and they were very confused and scared. Liliana and Alistair was talking about me and Morrigan being together, and Liliana calls Morrigan a vile fiend. Because they are also both whispering to each other, and she's like, stop it, he will hear. And then Alistair is like, he won't pay attention to this, it's fine. And then they start with, and then both of their actors do the stage whisper there, where they're like, so what do you think about him and Morrigan? And it's like, I actually think that she's a vile fiend, and I don't know what is but the bird. And I was like, oh my god, she fucking hates her. Because I kind of knew, yes, she's grating, but I didn't know that the opinion of Liliana was that, no, she's a disgusting woman, and I hate her, actually. Yeah. That was crazy to me. Because I know that, Morrigan and Alistair always get into fights, but not, she's a vile fiend this far into the game. Crazy.
Yep. Well, Alistair and Morrigan, have you taken them out together? Because that can change.
I haven't, no.
Maybe you wanna do that.
Well, I'm trying to switch up the party. I've had B team, I've had A team.
I know.
And now I have D team, which is Alistair, Liliana, and Oghren. Even though Alistair and Liliana are A team, Oghren
brings it down so far that it becomes a D.
It's just not. He died in almost every fight that he was in. He sucks to be around. Everything about him sucks. He's the weakest link.
He's the weakest
link.
I
hate him so much. Also, this is a completely side note, but a lot of dwarves are voiced by the guy who plays Sully from Uncharted, which I thought was really cool. Because I like him. He has a very nice voice. So we are going to. Also, Oghren is the ex-husband of Branka, Paragon Branka, who we're coming to go find. It's confirmed after. I don't know if he says it before and I just wasn't paying attention, but he does say that Branka started dating a woman and then left him to go into the deep roads. I think that is the funniest shit. I don't know how. All right, you telling me that they said that he was going to be a fan favorite is so funny because he's written to be he is. If Disco Elysium was written with less tact, Orgrin would be the lead character in Disco Elysium.
Yes. Sure.
It's like he's just an alcoholic failure fuck up. Actually, I'd switch that. Orgrin is Harry Dubois from Disco Elysium before he blacks out and loses all of his memories and the game Disco Elysium starts.
Oh my god.
He's just the disgusting, awful man that everyone hates.
Yeah.
I fucking hate him. Anyway.
Yeah.
Five Through the Deep Roads. I blood-controlled ogres. It's a lot of fighting. Basically all it is. You find... My notes here are all a little bit messed up.
I took Into the Deep Roads Wynn, Ogren, and Shale.
Shale, I know, is very important to bring along. I realized that too late, though.
Masterful. It was beautiful. Great dialogue, actually, though, from Wynn and Ogren. Wynn and Ogren really like each other.
No way.
Yeah. Wynn is, Ogren is one of the only male members of the party that she actually does like. Because do you know what? Wynn is a big fan of beer. She's a beer gal. She likes, we learn that she is really into the crafting of home-brewed beer.
Of course she is.
And
what a fucking loser. Sure, she's had a lot of years to learn, I guess.
So they get along fucking swimmingly. Shale is just questioning me and Wynn about our humanity the whole time. Said nothing to Ogren, which is fine. I got lost a bunch. I always get lost on this map a lot. We go from Círdan's Cross to find Orzammar.
Yep.
My dearest listener, have I got a secret for you? Bitcherton is an improvised comedy podcast inspired by the stories of Jane Austen that tells the tale of a wealthy family's secrets, scandals, and shenanigans. Lady Bitcherton has unwed daughters, nosy neighbors, awful country cousins, and now a body to hide. Will the Bitchertons be able to keep their secrets off the pages of Lady Bigwither's gossip sheet? Or will her pen skewer their good name forever? Oh, Bits, what a predicament. Featuring the voices of Katie Maravich, Iffy Waddiway, Carolyn Page, Alex Songsha, Brian Flaherty, and Cassie Wilson, plus a dance card filled with guest comedians of the very finest quality. But for us to help the seeds of rumor ripen into the juicy plum of scandal, we'll need your help. Bitcherton is heading to Kickstarter on June 13th. Go to bitcherton.com to pre-save the campaign and help us bring this story to life. Ta-ta for now.
Orzammar is where we know that Branka was headed because it was thought that the anvil might be there. And the anvil...
Anvil of the Void.
The Anvil of the Void is something that is a relic of dwarven history that Branka was in search of and got obsessed with and ran off into the deep roads looking for. It was thought that it was in the Orzammar. We get to the Orzammar, we clear it out. It's not there, but we find a journal entry from Branka at her research station that says that she found evidence that it is actually deeper in to the deep roads and that she most likely won't make it out. Tell Ogren, well, he knows kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like a Rose Tyler, if it's my last chance to say it, message in Branca's diary there. And so we go even deeper into the deep roads. And that's when the nightmare fucking starts.
Oh my God. The problem with the deep roads for me is that this second half is great. It is so cool. Everything about it is like my whole shit. It's so Warhammer 40k grimdark.
Yeah.
And I love it. Everything before that is so boring, but I also appreciate that it's like we are essentially going into hell. Like we're getting we're climbing,
and it gets
so
more
close to hell.
dangerous as you go
The
in. So
further
you're
you go
fighting
in.
like
So it makes
occasional
sense as to
Darkspawn
why there's
and those
no
like
fucking dwarves
shitty
down there.
little birds.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, and then you get deeper in, and then it's hell on Earth.
It is hell on Earth. So in Carradin's Cross, I'm pretty sure it's at Carradin's Cross. My notes are everywhere. We find a scavenger. Is this correct, or is this in the Tig?
This is the scavenger we find deeper into Orzammar.
Sick. Well, in the person whose son she thought that her son ran out of the deep roads.
Son Ruck, yeah.
Yeah, we find him and he's gone like taint mad, right?
Yeah,
because he's had to eat Dorkspawn.
Yeah, he has survived in the deep roads by eating the Darkspawn's meat, which makes you like them enough that they don't attack you anymore. But it also makes you like basically part wrong.
Yeah.
What happened with Ruck for you? I'm really curious.
So I was like, hey, your mom is worried about you. And he was like, no, please don't tell her. Tell her I'm dead. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to take anything from you, but I've got a lot of knives weighing me down. Can I sell some shit to you? And he was like, sure. So then we traded. I left. At the end afterwards, I went home and then I did tell his mother that he was alive and that he is like in no fit state to come back in any way. And I told her the whole thing because it's like, I was like, I couldn't be bothered lying to her. And I was like, yeah, your son is, and then cause she's like, I'm going to go into the deep roads and find him. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like he is mad but it's your decision. Like I am giving you all of the information. You do what you will with that information.
Oh my God. You're in your libertarian era. You're
I mean, listen, it's just like, it's not even that she deserves to know. It's like, I have no stake in this game. This is all of the bits. It's like, I don't believe your son is in the deep roads anymore. I think he died. But this person who is piloting the body told me to tell you that he's dead. If you wanna, go on. Go hopscotch.
So in my most recent memory of a playthrough of this game, you choose that initial dialogue, which was like, your mom, Filda, like asked me to find you. What's up? And he freaks out and he's like, no moms, no soft beds. No, like, he's like, no, don't talk to me about that. That doesn't exist anymore. I can't have it. So stop talking about it. If you mention her again, he will get so upset that he will ask you to kill him. And that becomes an option. Or if you push too hard, he will attack you and force you to kill him. I imagine that way.
Yep.
That didn't happen to me this time because I was like, oh, he's really upset. I'm gonna change the subject. And then we get the option anyway to just like kill him anyway. And I was like, oh fuck, I've always killed him because he's always asked me to kill him.
Yeah.
But fuck, I wouldn't do that if he wasn't asking me to.
Specifically asking, yeah.
So I was just like, okay. And then I absolutely did not tell his mother that he was alive. I told him her that he was dead.
Yeah.
And then you start to find like that there are dwarven spirits all around here as well that are restless because you are in like basically a big graveyard, essentially.
The city of the dead, basically. Yeah.
Going even further in, did you find the bags of dismembered body parts?
I found a bag of a dismembered body part, and I only just remembered that now.
Yeah. You find limbs, you find a torso, and you find a head severed in bags across the deep roads. If you find all three, then eventually you find an altar, and you can place them on the altar and summon a demon that had severed itself to stay hidden so that it could stay on this plane. And when you summon it, it asks if you want revenge or if you want a boon. And I asked it for a boon. And so it was like, sure. And I'll stick around on this plane for a while, and then gave me some money.
Oh.
Yep.
That's exciting.
That was fun. Yeah, so that was fun. And then we go deeper in, and we eventually meet a woman who is similarly to Ruck, damaged by...
Well, first...
Well, what?
Before we find her, we find a whole group of dwarves.
Oh, that's right. We find dwarves who are fighting the spirits. That's true. Yeah.
And we cross a bridge, which we look down at the bottom of the crevice below, and we see like hundreds of thousands of Darkspawn.
Yeah. And we see the archdemon.
And then we see the archdemon itself, this giant rotting corpse of a dragon. In what I wrote, my note, because I was writing the note as it was happening, I said, holy shit, there's lots of, then in all caps, oh fuck, it's the archdemon.
Yeah.
Because it happens so suddenly. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my god, the fucking boss of all of them is here right now.
Yep.
Yeah. And me and Alistair were shitting ourselves because it's going to fucking turn around. It knows we're here.
We're
going to have to fight it right.
Us.
We're going to have to fight it right now.
It talks to us in our dreams. Yeah. I know. That's really fun.
Awesome moment. And then we crossed the bridge. Good. Everyone lived because I am the greatest blood mage to ever do it.
I saved everyone. That's a big point of pride.
Yeah. It was huge. And then we start... We cross the bridge, loads and loads of Darkspawn, now getting weird flavors of Darkspawn. And then, before we see her, this one woman, we hear her first. Yeah. And she's recounting a tale, starting with day 1, and then she says day 2 after a little bit, then day 3, of her group team getting captured by Darkspawn.
Yes. Content warning.
Oh, it's bad.
Trigger warning. It is not just a tale of her team getting captured by the Darkspawn. It is a tale of her team getting captured, yes, but of one woman on their team being bred by the Darkspawn over and over again, being filled with the eggs of the spiders they kill over and over again until she becomes more dead, more gray, more bloated, and increasingly distorted and visibly pregnant. That is the story that you hear as you are moving through tunnels towards this woman.
The further the tunnels go, the more weird flesh sacks are everywhere, and or just like the tunnels are now filled with gore as you're closing out this bit, and it is so grim. It is brutal. Yeah.
But then we meet what is her name?
Gay icon. Hespith?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Who reveals that she was Bronca's lover, who was her partner in the deep roads on this expedition, and that Bronca let this happen to them.
Yeah.
Let this happen to all of them, including her.
Orgren didn't have anything to say to me about this, which I thought was insane to not have him comment on how horrific this whole section was.
Yeah.
He remains stum and just silently being like, women, eh? And it's like, fuck off, dude. Kill yourself. I hate you so much. Yeah, we met her. I can't remember much of what I said. I don't think I was able to get much words out before she just bounced.
Yeah, then she bounces and you have to kind of chase her.
Yeah. And you chase her to the
Well, she
old
starts saying
companion.
another bit of lore where she describes how Bronca betrayed them all and left them, and how the brood mother came to be. Which is then when you turn a random fucking corner and are confronted with the hardest boss fight in this entire video game. And I think, if memory serves, I am including the Archdemon in that. I think this fight is so fucking hard.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
This fight is pretty hard. I think everyone died except for Alistair, which is why Alistair is my boy, because he just fought through it. Shale
1v1
huge.
finished off the Brood Mother.
He did like a cool finishing move, and I was like, that's my boy right there. That's my main guy. He like ran on top of its head and then like decapitated it. It was cool as hell. He got it from like 50% health, because I died through stupid means, because my stat to start fights is turn on blood magic, cast blood wound on as many people as possible so they all stop moving. If there's any stragglers, do it. If there's any stragglers, cast blood control, then turn blood magic off. I forgot the extremely important third step in this. So I was just rinsing my health in this fight, because I was like, oh my god, so much stuff is happening. There's like tentacles popping up everywhere. There's like Darkspawn being summoned. My undead familiar, who I now always have with me, was now trapped behind said tentacles. So I just like was using my own health to cast spells, and I died a very weak but mana healthy man because I never turned it off. Liliana died because she has 2 health, and Orgren died because he's completely useless. So at about 50% of this thing's health, fucking Alistair, Paladin and Champion both fought this horror to its demise.
We love that.
He's just the best guy ever. I love him. My boy.
That fucking one shot kill move that the Brood Mother does killed me about halfway through the fight.
I don't know that one.
Where when you're trying to hit the Brood Mother specifically, so if you get in her range, she has a special move where she picks you up and just chews on you for like a good 20 seconds. There's nothing that you can do. She like chews on you for a second, shakes you, chews on you again, shakes you again.
God.
You lose 100% of your health, and unless you have a healer actively healing you with magic, you can't take any health potions or anything while that's happening. It's a one-shot kill. And so she got me with it. And then Wynn was alive, so she was healing me. And then she got me with it one more time. Wynn fell, and then I died. And then it was Ogren and Shale for a brief little time. Ogren then died, and then it was just Shale just punching her to death.
Brutal.
Yeah, and that was pretty badass. And then we see that woman Hespith run off. So it's like time to chase her again.
Yes.
And this is where we finally get into the Anvil of the Void.
Yeah. There is another fight,
cool.
another big boss fight pretty immediately after this.
Which one is that?
This is the one with all of the anvils, with the 4 anvils and the faces.
Well, so now you have to go through the trial to get to the Anvil of the Void. So this is part of. So the Anvil of the Void has like trials that you have to go through. There's
very similar to Haven.
There's like there's some spirits that you have to walk through. There's some golems, a golem trap.
Yeah. And there's one with just a bunch of traps that you have to undo and stuff. Blades.
Yeah. And then yes, the anvil one is very tricky.
Which now so fun, because last week I was able to pretty confidently say, I have my favorite fight in the game now. And it's the giant elder dragon that you fight on the mountaintop in Haven. I now have the worst fight in the game, which is this anvil. This sucked. This was just bad and not fun.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Every single one of my guys refused to do their automatic tactics. Anytime I didn't specifically tell them to do something, they got so confused and just started attacking the main thing in the center. And I had to keep stopping them and do anything else. So
that really
I died.
Sounds like a skill issue, I think. Yeah.
It's a skill issue because the developers had no skill in making this. Yeah, you're correct. That's where the skill issue lies.
I don't know about that.
I do. It's a bad. It's a. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's an interesting puzzle," because you have to like shoot out the eyes with the anvil. How interesting! You have to make them bleed, and then you have to make them stop bleeding. But then when all of my guys went on the fritz and had no idea what to do, and were just standing in the middle with, it was like Alistair was like furiously flicking between attack and shield pommel, where it was just like. Just constantly switching on his like auto play thing. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this fucking game. And then I had fucking paused it, told him to hit the same guy I was hitting, and then I changed all of their tactics to hit the guy I'm hitting, and then none of them listened to that either, and I got frustrated.
Oh, wow. I had a great time. I like this one.
Yeah, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
fun.
It's fun. You take that down, and that is the last of the trials that leads you to the Anvil of the Void.
Yeah.
Where we meet Bronca again. But first, we meet a awakened golem.
What? Do we?
Oh, I did.
Oh, I didn't. Tell me about that.
I meet an awakened golem who talks to us and says that he is the person who built the Anvil of the Void.
Oh, we meet Bronca before this.
Yeah.
We meet
Bronca
her before this,
before this, but then we see her again.
And then she tells us to go through the trials, and then Yes, we do meet fucking Caradin.
Yeah. So Caradin tells us
cool
that
looking guy.
Cool, so cool. That he made the Anvil of the Void, but that the creating golems is not a thing you just make out of stone and with magic. You have to make them from a person. And so we learn that Shale is Shale Kadash of the Kadash clan. And it was a young dwarven woman who was just with the wrong expedition party when the leaders at the time decided that making golems was what they needed for the dwarven army to be strong, and forced Caradin and his men to make as many dwarves as possible into golems. When Caradin refused and stopped wanting to do this, they turned on him and made him into a golem as well. But they were too stupid to make a control rod, so Caradin regained his, or remained conscious, but the others, not so much. And Caradin explains that they sent Shale away to try to get, to try to let her escape. So then Bronca is like, fuck you, I need that anvil. And Carradine is like, we need to destroy the anvil.
Yeah.
Forever, permanently.
Because she's like, well, the Darkspawn are coming whether we like it or not, and we don't have enough dwarven people. There will be enough dwarven people to volunteer to do it, because the dwarves are already volunteering. So they just need to volunteer again, and we'll just put their bodies in golems, and then they'll go and fight Darkspawn essentially forever.
And we'll make the
like,
dwarven...
Yes, but to what end?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you respond to this? I wish I had Shale. I wish I had Shale during this fight. It was too late into the dungeon when I was like, I'm coming across a lot of golems. Yeah. I should have probably brought Shale for this. This is a big Shale moment.
Shale is very confused, which is very unfortunate, because Shale doesn't have her memories pre what her last master did to her. Mm-hmm. So she is upset by this information, doesn't remember being a Kadash, doesn't remember being a dwarf. But then when you start making decisions, she is like, I don't really have an explanation why, but it feels right that you're doing this. Like when you're like, we're going to destroy the anvil and we're going to fight on Carradine's side. She gets pretty emotional and stuff. And then we learn that whatever her former handler was doing to her messed with her response, and that is why she is no longer affected by control rods. So then you have to have this interesting fight where you also have to stop your people from attacking Carradine, because she activates Carradine. Bronco.
Oh, strange. She didn't for me. Carradine was fine.
Really?
Carradine summoned 4 golems to help me fight. Then he was fine. Like, no one was attacking him.
Carradine summoned 4 golems, but then Bronca brought Carradine to his knees and got under her control.
That did not happen for me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It is interesting.
So then we
I just kind of beat the hell out of her. Yeah.
You killed Bronca though, right?
I beat the hell out of her, yeah.
Great. Excellent.
She exploded. It was delicious.
And then Carradine, because Bronca was your plan to bring back to Orzammar, but Carradine is like, I'll make one last thing. Yeah. I'll make one last thing on that anvil. I will make one crown, and you can do with it what the fuck you want. I don't want to hear your business. I'm not interested in any of their names. I love that
don't
part.
Don't tell me who is vying for attention. I don't care.
I don't care.
Then he kills himself.
Jumps in the lava. Here's your fucking crown to deal with your petty ass politics.
Here's your crown. I don't care.
Literally, all that matters is we stopped slavery from happening. So I'm good. I'm taking a nosedive.
So I was thinking, I did think about this decision, because I was like, well, because also even, Kaladin says at the beginning, he was like, yeah, they were all volunteers. Like 100% of the golems were volunteers at the beginning. But then the king got greedy and needed more. So then, was just putting in castless and criminals and all that. And that was the decision clincher for me, because I was well, I mean, if they're volunteers, like there are dwarves now who just do that, who just like throw themselves into the deep roads knowing they're going to die, but hey, they're going to kill as many Darkspawn as possible. I am so sure that all of those guys would be like, yeah, I'll become a golem. That sounds sick. I'll
for
do
sure.
That.
The thing is that those dwarves can leave the deep roads if they change their mind. If you have someone out there with a control rod who can control everything that you do and say, you that's longer.
That's the difference. Like that's the thing that's like, because also when he was like, and also the king did it, and I was, it was another thing of, well, I don't like either of the people that are vying for power right now, and
neither of them should have access to the Anvil of the Void.
At pure max, I have 30 years left. Truly, I'm like after I'm dead, are the people still going to be good guys? No, there's someone who's going to abuse this power. I'm not doing it. So was decided to fight Bronca, and then went back.
So right on your way out, you find a little scribbling about the Ortan clan, their history.
Oh,
and
what does it say?
And you can copy it onto a piece of paper and bring it back to that lady in the shaperette and be like,
"Oh, I did do that.
Your family does exist. They're real."
Yeah, and then she was very excited about that because it basically means she's royalty, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go back. I name Balin. You have some options in how you phrase this, and it doesn't really make a difference story-wise, but for me, it was very important. Where I'm sick of people pretending that my name isn't my name and that I don't exist. Despite these stupid laws, I am an Idukan. I am Feleria Idukan, and this charade is bullshit. So my new thing is like, they give you the option to say that Caradin chose the new king. And I said, the Paragon told me to choose the new king. I'm choosing my brother Balin. Like every chance I get.
Crazy.
Not Prince Balin, my brother Balin. I choose him. And everybody disrespects you at every turn and says, "All right, Grey Warden." You're like, Feleria Idukan chooses the new fucking king of Orzammar.
That's crazy. How does he react to that? He must have been like, "Oh shit."
So Balin has a conversation with you afterwards in public. Says thank you, Grey Warden. You and like even makes comments in this assembly as you name him king that you know your name is still stricken from the records, but we thank you for your service, Grey Warden, and you will have your army. We immediately cut to me in Balin's quarters where he finally calls me his sister for the first time since I've been back.
Wow.
And we have it out. This is the first time where I'm like, "Hey, buddy, by the way, I know I didn't kill Trian. So what the fuck?" And he's just like, "Well, Trian wasn't strong enough to do what he needed to do to lead. Neither was Dad. And you were just in the way. You would have done the same." And I was like, objectively, I wouldn't have. I never did any of that. And he was like, "Well, then you wouldn't have been a good king." And I was like, fuck, you know what? I don't have it in me to have it out with you anymore. Are you going to give me my army or not? We have to work together. And he's like, "You're right. We do have to work together. You have our army at your beck and call. And you've earned your name back in the records." And I was like, "Yeah, I fucking have, because I'm
Magical.
a goddamn Idukan. Bitch."
That's huge.
Yeah.
My ceremony was very different. Everyone was yelling, was like, "Well, we know that he's going with Balin because of XYZ." And Balin was like, "Hey, so who are you going to name?" And I said, "Well, Caradin said that I could pick." And he was like, "Okay, so who'd he pick?" And I was like, "I pick Harrowmount." "Fuck you, dude." And I spat at him, and then he tried to attack me, and I blood controlled him, made him kill all of his friends, and then I blew him up. I said, "Fuck you, dude. I'm in charge. Don't you ever make me run around for your shit again. I have other business. Harrowmount, if you do this to me, that's going to be you, bitch. Fuck all of you." And I left. I got angry with it. I killed him for having me run around doing his petty political shit. If he wants to be king, then he has to stand up for something. That guy was weak, pathetic, disgusting, disgusting little man. So I killed him.
Who did you kill?
I killed Balin. I named Harrowmount king, and I killed Balin. I blew him up.
Oh my god! Jesus!
I left.
Well,
don't you fucking dare.
Cheers to Orzammar 2025.
No way. No way. Do you think that Balin is not the most fascist man in the world?
He's not.
All of that shit is heresy. He's not going to do any of that. He doesn't care. He's just doing it for political power. And then after I blew him up, I get attacked fucking 5 times a day by his cronies in Orzammar. Nah. That man had a fucking young white man uprising.
Well, I got attacked by
Nonsense.
Harriman's man a million times too.
Yeah, I know. It's a video game. You gotta get attacked by the other side. It's not.
Oh, okay. So when you're making your argument, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break.
Fuck you, dude. Because I did pick Balin at first, and then Balin had Harriman executed. And then, like, I picked him, and then I literally reloaded, did the final fight again. Because he was just a smarmy git, and I was like,
I told him you can't act. I told him you cannot.
He did not listen to me.
Oh, he did listen to me. Yeah, I told him this was unacceptable.
He was like, well, hey, listen, I'm fucking king, and he's gonna be vying for my power again, and he has so many followers. And then I spoke to him after. Yeah. So and then afterwards he was just like belligerent and rude, and then was like, oh, well, I guess you're going to have your army, but don't count on it. Maybe there'll be a little roadblock in the way. And I'm like, okay. And I reloaded and I said, no, Harriman will do it. And then I killed him because he got really angry. So I got him to kill his friends, and then I killed him. And I said, I am not a dwarf. Sort this out amongst yourselves. And also, I don't fucking know these people. Let them live, babe. Let them, like, because I'm not a dwarf. I'm here, an elf from a mage tower. I've never stepped foot. I hadn't stepped foot outside this mage tower till last year, and now I'm dealing with your politics in your city. You deal with it. Fuck you, dude. People seem to like Harriman, and I'm like, I don't know him. I don't know him. He didn't speak to me.
People like Lord Harriman because he's polite, but he's got shit politics.
Yeah, I don't care. That's literally not my business. It's his. It's his business. If he does worse stuff, it's like, well, they voted for him. It's not my fucking problem. Not that last bit, but everything else. Disappointed in me? I can feel it in you. Because it's like,
just that spite ate away all that was good, kind, and loving till nothing was left but the spite itself coiled around my heart like a great worm. And in my darkest hour, I turned from her and vowed that I would destroy her. At the moment of her death, I knew what I had done, and I wept.
Notice me.
I shall bring the land of my fathers to her
killing
word.
Your brother.
Therein lies their salvation and mine. And she came to me in a vision and laid her hand on my heart. Her touch was like fire that did not burn, and by her touch I was made pure again. Despair not, said she, for your betrayal was maker blessed. And returned me to his side. You're forgiven.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They were both fascist. It's picking between two fascists for me. And it just couldn't be done. I 100% also do not believe. Like, yeah, sure, the other games, if you pick him, I'd be like, oh, look, because of King Balin, look at all this stuff that happened. At that moment, I was like, I don't fucking believe this guy. I don't believe a single thing he's saying. It's like everything he does seems to just be vying for power. And he'll say anything to get any form of power. Harriman, at least, yeah, he's bad, and admittedly I didn't know that he wanted to invoke more traditions. I just thought he was keeping it as is, and I was like, I don't know this city. These aren't my people.
Oh yeah.
He was the prince. Keeping on, I guess. Next time there'll be someone else. I don't know why I'm involved in this fucking politics at all. Fuck it. Kill them. Give me my army. There is way bigger fish to fry. Shut up. Everyone in this room has to shut up. I don't care.
Yeah.
I would have brought Caradin back. I would have been like, you're king now. I would have put that crown on Orgrin's head and said, go lead, buddy. Go get him, slugger. I would have said. So, if the developers thought that Orgrin was going to be like a fan favorite, did they then change that to Varric?
I think so. They were like, let's go back to the drawing board on
and then they just were like, we want a dwarf to be in all of the games as like a best friend character who is divorced.
And then they actually wrote a good best friend character later.
Mate.
Someone who likes you.
Yeah, exactly. Every single one of his comments made me want to fucking throw up. Orgrin talks so much about like being a virgin with Alistair, being married with Alistair, just like, oh, my fucking bitch of an ex-wife. And it's like, dude.
Oh my God,
Go
you
fucking
suck.
kill yourself. And when we left, he was like, oh, give me a minute. And I was like, what's up, dude? And he's like, I feel like I gotta fall into the sky. I was like, oh yeah, that's crazy, man, because you've never seen the sky before. Yeah, that's huge. It must be really weird. He's like, weird? You know what's weird? Your wife saying that she's in love with a girl. That's weird. And I was like, you've gotta calm down. You've gotta rein it in,
Take it
dude.
easy, Elon.
I don't know you. Please, I don't like any of this city.
Yeah.
I just traveled for what in canon was weeks through the deep roads dealing with dwarven politics, which I'm not attached to. You gotta leave.
Ogren talks to you like a comedian who's trying to get canceled because he's never going to make it otherwise. Like he's his only chance. He's like,
absolutely.
What are you gonna say now? Woke. That's what Ogren.
And it's crazy because he before as we're walking through the deep roads, he's like, oh, because my wife's in there and I have to go find her. And I'm like, oh, like he doesn't say X, I don't think. He might do, but whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, bud. He's just concerned about her. And then after we find and kill her, all he does is talk about how bad his ex-wife was. And I'm like, I hate you. I hate the energy you're bringing to my nice little camp full of people who apparently hate each other. It's all bad. Yeah. I liked this bit, but the story was too isn't everything so grey in politics? And I also couldn't speak to people and be like, ask the questions that I need to figure out who I wanted to be in charge. So I was like, whatever.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's nobody's fault.
Side notes.
I got wound up at the end.
Little side notes before we wrap is that I gave Zevran a pair of shoes and he went fucking bonkers about it. And I gave Morrigan a mirror, and she and I had the cutest cutscene of her entire story arc, I think. Where she gets so magically emotional about this mirror and talks about how she's never been seen before. That no one has ever given her anything meaningful before in her life.
Hey, where did you get that mirror, buddy?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
No, hey, on the down low, sorry I killed your brother. Where did you get that mirror, though? Let me give it to my wife.
Up for Orzammar.
No, I've been hoisted by my own petard. Oh,
yeah.
So next week we are going to do Return to Ostagar DLC, and correct me if I'm wrong, we are going to attempt to just we're wrapping everything up before the final fight.
Before this is important, not just before the final fight, before the lands meet.
The lands meet.
Because that is what happens directly before the final fight. So it's like the end, the finale to me really is those two quests combined. It is the lands meet followed by the final fight. Mm-hmm. So we will do those two things in the finale, but we can do Return to Ostagar and any other wrap-ups, any other exploration that you want to do.
I did Sten's quest to find his sword.
Oh, I did that too. Yeah.
It's just finding some stuff, and then go and like there's not a whole bunch of conversation with it. He does have a nice conversation with the dog after.
Yeah.
About it, which I thought was cute. But ultimately, I was like, I've just come off of Liliana's one, which is really cool and interesting, and I hope that Sten gets a little more, because if that's it, then...
Well, so I think Sten's is interesting because doing his quest there is what leads him to ask what's going to come after for him, because he then offers to stay with you instead of returning to the Qun. Oh, I went back and cured the Hala.
I did as well.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Which is funny because the Hala wasn't even sick. Her partner was sick.
Oh yeah.
And that was what was making her sad.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. We did that with Good Samaritans.
Yeah.
So we love that.
So good.
The Hollow clearly wasn't that sick because we'd just been traveling for like 2 months and
Yeah. Thank God we didn't put a bullet between its eyes like we were offered to so many fucking times.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing that can be done for this Hollow that's just sad.
That's what I do to all of my friends whenever
I'm having a bad day.
We gotta put
you want one? You want one right in the skull?
That's what
why no one ever tells you their feelings anymore. It's really...
I know, it's crazy. It's because I kill their brother and then I shoot them between the head when they're sad about
And then
it.
you ask us for love advice. You fucking sick, twisted
Who am I
bastard.
asking for love advice? Am I asking
You asked me
in
where I
this?
got the mirror for your stupid, angry girlfriend.
Wow. You're so pissed that I killed your fascist brother. I'm so
My
sorry.
progressive brother. You killed...
Yeah, super progressive.
You killed
Absolutely.
Murder Sanders. You killed...
I'm not having you fucking rewrite this to make me be the bad guy. Fuck you, dude. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Orzammar could be so much better. Think of all the castless who will remain castless forever.
They would have with Prince Balin. I don't care. They would have. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care. He's just trying to... His whole thing is like false promises and bravado. Neither of these men would be good. This man, at least, getting rid of this guy stops it being in the one line of kings. That's fine. The next guy will figure it out.
How's I do?
Harriman is old. Also, didn't you say that Balin forged the signatures on the Harrowmant thing?
Yeah. He will do whatever it takes to get the job done, and that's what makes a strong leader.
But he will help the people.
Yes.
Even though, yes, of course.
And he'll do anything.
He'll do anything to get power, but that includes helping people that can do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look,
of course.
If you need to break a few rules to let the caste system fall apart, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah. And your brother's totally going to do that. 100% believe
That's
it.
his whole campaign promise. That's why
And campaign promises have never been broken before.
Hey, look, I mean, we've got campaign promises coming from both sides. You chose the one that's like, let's keep everything the same.
Listen, I'm not going to debate politics about a world I don't
And
understand
yet
with you right now.
Here we are.
Because you're trying to wrap up the episode and I refuse. I need you to talk to me about it.
I've told you my feelings. Balin is a bad guy, but he is politically in the right. And that is the sad truth. The bad writing. But that is what has happened here.
Fine.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
tricked by
Is
bad
that
writing.
like what anyone has ever been like in real life? No. But is it what is happening in this scenario? Yes.
Yes. All right. Fine. You know what? I believe
What?
you. I have made a bad decision in this video game, and I will be chastised for it, and that's fine.
Oh, there you go. Good. Very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
big boy. He says to me. You devil.
Oh, God.
Devil of a man.
Just recite the Canticle of Mafrath like 3 more times and you'll be forgiven. Probably.
What is that?
That's the Canticle of Mafrath.
Yeah.
It's the it's the story of Mavrath's betrayal of Andraste. It's what I recited to you earlier when you were being a prick.
Is that your equivalent of do 3 Hail Marys and you'll be fine?
Yes.
Good Lord. I'm not surprised. It's a shame, obviously, how would they ever make this happen, that you can't put the crown on your own head. Like, I'm still dwarven nobility, and the fucking Caradin said I could pick. I pick me. That's my shit. I've run around this city. I've done everything myself. I'm up on the surface, fucking holding back the Horde from ending the world.
The thing
I've
is,
been
that's
the deepest into the dark roads possible.
That's the reason it doesn't work. You have to leave Orzammar. Orzammar needs a leader.
And
you cannot be a Grey Warden and
of course it wouldn't work. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because I picked him first.
And I wouldn't do that to Orzammar. I wouldn't be an absentee king.
No.
Not with my city in shambles. Not
with
a paragon. Not with 2 paragons dead. Get out of here.
So are paragons just heroes? I thought paragons were the dwarven akin to godhood.
Paragons are so the dwarves have a sort of pantheon. They worship the stone. The stone, which is what we all come from.
Yeah.
But then paragons are kind of like saints. They're people, they're dwarves who in life have done such such feats of good for dwarven kind that they're elevated to paragon status.
Mm-hmm.
So Branka was elevated for her research in uncovering lost history, and Caradin was named paragon for creating the anvil. Yeah.
Yep. I'm very good.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Yeah. So good.
Well, very well. I'm excited to see how. I also do. I'm going to be honest. I've warmed up to it now after our yelling session. I've warmed up to it, where I like the fact that Quentin, who started this story being so sure of himself, is ending it being so unsure of every action he takes. And I think that's fun.
I love that.
Everything he does, he's second guessing and is making actively bad decisions. Because in this one, because this was me as well, I will admit we were trying to, because we had to do this in a short amount of time, and I really didn't have a lot of free time in this bit. So I kind of wanted, I just kind of gut shot it. And I also like to think that Quentin also gut shot this, because we've just had the meeting with Eamon where he's like, yeah, it's happening now. We have to make it.
No bullshit.
You gotta go. And then we went, and then it was literally the most amount of bullshit that we've dealt with so far.
It's we literally don't have time for even a second more of this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give me any trouble, we have to.
And then he goes in, and then it's a bunch of dwarves whose politics are I normally wouldn't be allowed in this city, let alone be involved in the top tier stuff. I just need this done. So whatever, pick someone. I like the fact that he is finishing this story being so unsure of himself. And I'm excited to see how that comes to a head in these final 2 sessions. Yeah.
Delightful.
Well, Grey Wardens.
Yeah.
With that. In war, victory, in peace, vigilance.
There we go! Put that fucking knife down! I don't trust you, Kinslayer. God.
Oh, what joy.